Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel on strategic directive, looking at our subject of change management or strategic change management. My name is Pastor Paul Allieu Kamara, Professor of Leadership Development and Management, or better say administration, Professor of Leadership Development and Administration from the University of RUDOLPH KWANUE or RUDOLPH KWANUE University. This topic is a continuation of our last teaching of our strategic directive in strategic change management. Today, we'll be looking at three keys of change management. We'll be looking at three key issues in our teachings today. One, we look at the technical. Two, the political. Three, the cultural system of organizational development. Let's begin with few of these things. One, managing strategic change is increasingly a way of life for organizations faced with the turbulent economic, political, and cultural forces of the 80s. To manage such change, organizations and their managers need to confront basic questions regarding the organization's technical, political, and cultural foundations. The technical questions include: one, what business or businesses should be in? Two, how should we organize to accomplish our strategies? Three, what kind of people do we need? And how will they be hired, developed, and rewarded? The political questions include: who gets to influence the mission and strategy of the organization? How is power allocated, both vertically and horizontally across the organization? Who gets promoted to what key position? So these strategic questions are relevant towards the cultural questions of what values and beliefs are necessary to support the organization's strategy. What subcultures are promoted, or what subcultures are desirable, and should there be an overreaching corporate culture. The organizations today face major discontinuous change that makes strategic management more difficult and more complex than ever before. To succeed in this environment, companies need to look at the technical, the political, and cultural system operating within the organizations. Transformational leadership can be a successful tool for leaders of organizational experiencing upheavals due to the emergence of the global economic changing technologies, deregulations, and or adjustment to more difficult market and economic conditions in general. The response to managing in turbulent times requires organizations to return to basic questions about their nature and processes. The fundamental character of their technical system will need to be re-examined, resulting in new mission and strategies, major restructuring and over or revamping of the financial, marketing, production, and human resource system. Organizational or organization's politics or political system has reflected in who gets ahead, how they get rewarded, and who has power to make decisions that will also need major overhauling. Organizations' cultures are perhaps the most complex and subtle yet most perverse influence on their effectiveness. Thus, major changes will require addressing issues of values and belief of the organization's members. We're looking at the environmental pressure. The environmental pressure impacts the technical, political, and cultural system of organizations. The technical system will be buffeted by forces requiring much attention to efficiency. For example, we look at companies of the auto industry that began. Obvious example, for example, with let's say 15,000 to $20,000 per car, which is quite differential with the Japanese auto that makes cars. In other way around, the industrial economy have been less successful than ever or than even the auto industry in production efficiencies, such as steel and consumer electronics, which have lost to more efficiency in foreign competitions. Technological adaptation is another major technical system challenging the configuration and skill mix of future workshop or workforce is yet to be determined based on the telecommunication, the robotic, or microelectronic innovations, jobs, work group, organizational desire, or designs also will be altered by technological adaptations in order to fit in into the new trend. As organization faces massive realignment in their technical system, they will also need to realign their political system or how powers and resources are allocated and how reward systems function. Decisions in their area get reflected in compensation programs, career decision, budget decision, and the internal power structure in those areas. Power structures in those areas. For instance, we look at few things here. Transformational leadership is a style of leading people in an inspirational way rather than driven by transactional number alone. However, while much of the research focuses on leadership concept in the political arena and in the organizational psychology, there is inclusive and consistent evidence to prove that transformational leadership does create significant positive change in an organization. In addition, the resultant redesigns of organizational culture create an environment where the followers give more than either they or the organizations likely anticipated. Transformational leadership maximizes the human potential within an organization, thereby lowering the headcount and cost, increasing the ROI, and improving retention rate of high-performing employees. And the result, there is no doubt that results are more predictable, surprises are less, and the result will be increased personal income and security of tenure through achievement of goal. Some of the more recent adaptations and definition of transformational leadership are not to suit the enterprise and public sector agency, as they are more of a scientific analysis, or even the term has been used in religious or spiritual nuisance. The application as intended for this sector is a powerful, charismatic, yet result-oriented style of leading an organization to productive, excellent, consistently. This is effectively delivered through the loyalty and willingness of the human resource within and supporting the organization to follow leaders and execute the strategy flawlessly. When this moderate and rational view of this type of charismatic and inspirational leadership is taken and combined with the essential transactional leadership skill required for today's market, then a significant advantage over competitive environment is soon evident. In today's economic environment, more than